So trying a little experiment here with the Generative Fill function in the new Photoshop 2024 that was just released today, September 13th, 2023. So I'm trying to do a sky replacement in an image that was captured this morning, a very gray, gloomy, overcast sky. And so I'm just playing around with sky replacement just to see what I can do. And one of the things that I found with sky replacement, of course, is that the masking that Photoshop generates with the sky replacement process can sometimes be a little soft, and you get some bleed over, as you can see on the cross here, of the new sky. And so it requires some editing of the mask. Well, what I'm trying to see here is if the Gen Fill can make the editing a little easier. So what I've done is I've gone into the sky replacement mask, this layer here, and just used a hard-edged brush and painted some additional black on the mask there to hide some of that new sky behind there. And I want to see if Generative Fill will clean up the edge of that roof and the sort of scalloped edge of this siding here and fill it with sky and make it look clean. So let's try it. So I have stamped to new layer my new sky version of the image. So I'm going to work on that new sky image. And we're going to use the lasso tool to make a selection of the roof. Actually, let's use the polygonal lasso. We'll make a selection. I'm going to include some of the shingles and the roof line here and a little bit of the sky. Give it something to work with. Now, I'm not going to add any prompts here. I'm going to just go ahead and click Generative Fill and Generate and let it do its magic and see what we come up with. And we're waiting and we're waiting. It needs to play like Jeopardy music or something while while it's working. Oh, hey, that's not too bad. Let's see. Lopped off a little bit of the corner of the roof there, but actually that would be a fairly easy thing to fix. Let's try this edge of the building with the siding here and see if we can bring sky into that area and make it a little cleaner here than what the sky replacement mask did by itself. So again, make a selection, include a bit of the siding, a bit of the sky, click Generative Fill, and without any prompts, we'll click Generate. And what it's doing is analyzing the area around my selection from the existing image, and it's going to try and create new content from, okay, didn't do a great job there. Now, I did this earlier, and it actually worked better. Here, it looks like it's kind of smoothed out the scallops on the siding a little bit, so that didn't work very well. But one of the things about Generative Fill is it gives you options. So the first option doesn't look all that great. Let's see what the other options are. It looks a little better. And the third one doesn't really look much better than number one. In fact, number one, I think, probably looks the best of those three. We can try and have it generate again to give us some additional options, see if any of them look better. And if that doesn't work, we can try making another selection, try it again. So this is all experimenting, all learning what the limitations of this Generative Fill function is. Not convinced that any of these look great. No, so let's delete that layer. Let's try a little less of a selection of the siding. Just make it a little tighter here. And a little more of the sky. And see if making a different selection makes any difference. Click Generate. Again, with no prompts. See how it does. Well, now that's not too bad. That actually looks, and then that looks even a little better, I think. And better still. Actually, I like that third option. So compared to that, looks like the third option preserved the shape of the siding pretty well. So I'm going to go with that. So let's see, let's try another little bit of it here. Let's try this part. Now, certainly with the sky replacement, you can be a little more precise with this. I could have been a little cleaner with the mask, but I was trying to kind of test the capabilities of Generative Fill and see how that might help me going forward in terms of my workflow. I don't use sky replacement very often, but this image kind of called for it because it's such a pretty church. Well, pretty nice there. Such a pretty church, and the sky was so boring and just flat white this morning that it just cried out for a little bit of sky. So we'll see how that looks. And it's getting there pretty good so far. And I'm also going to try the remove tool on this little tiny bit here. Okay, no, it didn't do a great job there. It kind of changed the shape of that piece. You know what? I think the one with the black preserves the shape the best. So let's do this. I'm going to merge that all into a new layer. Command Option Shift E on the Mac, or Control Alt Shift E on Windows. And this time, instead of using Generative Fill, I'm going to go in with the Remove tool, the new Remove tool, which has actually been in Photoshop since the previous iteration. So this is an AI-powered healing tool. Actually, it's probably going to replace, in practice, the spot healing and the healing brush. I'm just going to paint over that black spot there. And I'm going to paint over this little bit of sky there that's remaining and hit Enter or Return. Et voila. There we go. Not bad. Let's see what it looked like before. There's before. There's after. It kind of changed the shape of that just a tiny bit, but frankly, you probably wouldn't notice too much about that. I'm going to go back and kind of clean this edge of the corner of the roof up a little bit and do it again. But it's an interesting little experiment to see how Generative Fill can help us in our retouching workflow.